Hello everyone, it's Julie here at Big Lakes Dodge. Today I'll be showing you this 2019 Ram 3500 Laramie Crew Cab. It's a dually, so it's got dual rear wheels on the back. For the front, we got our front axle with hub extensions. We also have our lights up there, LED. You can see right here we have a camera on the front. That's for our 360 camera, which I'll show you once we get on the inside. We also have the tow hooks on the front, which are nice for pulling things. Like if someone gets stuck in the ditch, you can pull them out or get pulled out. We've got our front sensors on the front there, fog lights, Ram badging, of course. And then for our wheels, we have 17 by 6 inch polished aluminum. It's black on the outside. We'll go on the inside here. We do also have proximity keyless entry. You can tell by this little button there. Blends in with the silver door handle. But as long as your key is nearby, the door will unlock, and then when you walk away, it will lock. We have front powered seats. So these are leather. They're heated and vented and powered in the front. So for adjusting, you just use these little things there. And then you can also adjust your lumbar support. It's kind of hard to tell through the video. Down here we have our jack. So this is our compartment for our jack. You pull off this plastic bit there and your jack will be revealed like a magic trick. We also have some heavy duty all-weather mats. So if you're tracking mud in and out quite frequently, you don't have to worry too much because they do wash off fairly easily. They clip in here and you just unclip them and then go and give them a wash. Clip them back in so they don't move around. In our glove compartment we have our owner's manual. So you have your user's guide, your Sirius XM information, as well as your consumer information, I believe is this other one. Sorry, I'm not very good at using my left hand. Alright, so warranty information, and then your quick reference guide if you ever need to reference anything quickly. So all that goes in this cute little pouch, and then that's just located in your glove box there. And then as you can see, once we have all those in there, there's tons of room to throw other things. Gloves, you can throw many pairs of gloves, that's for sure. We have our Laramie badging on the dash here, so just to show how fancy it is. It is felt lined in here, which isn't typical for the Rams. In this Laramie, it is felt lined in here. You can see that felt lining, as well as in here. So just if you're throwing anything down in there, if it's glass or anything like that, it won't be scratched up. It just makes it feel extra fancy. We also have these compartments down here. You could throw your charging cords or something like that in there so that way they're not laying around. That's typically what I use mine for. And that's just a quick look at our interior on the front. On our door we have our power locks, power windows, we have our door pockets. It does have this little insert here for your drinks. You can take that out, but it just has a nice little spot so when you put your drinks there, they're not flopping around. They're nice and secured. For our sound system, we have a 9-speaker Alpine sound system with a subwoofer, and then we have this little nook there for throwing things. You can throw a pen or something like that there, your AirPods, I don't know. For our mirrors, they are powered mirrors. They do fold in. You can tell by that little triangle there that we do have blind spot monitoring on there. These are bright power tow spotter mirrors with memory. So when you do adjust them, you can set them to your driver memory setting and you won't have to fiddle with them. If someone else is driving, you just click your driver memory setting and they'll go back to the way that they were. In the back here, we have our 60/40 split bench. They are leather back here as well. They do have these little suede inserts there. They're fairly small, so you don't have to worry about cleaning them too much. But they do fold upwards, and then we have this little panel here that does come out. It has these little legs. And then you fold that out. And then you have a flat surface to throw things down on. So if say you want to bring home a flat screen TV and you don't want to throw it in the back because it's raining, you pop this out and it has a nice flat surface to rest on. And we also have those cup holders in the middle there. So some spare cup holders down here. We do also have some up there. Underneath our all-weather mats here, we do have our in-floor storage bins. So let me unclip that there. You can see our in-floor storage bin. Sorry, there's a little bit of dirt. You can hold quite a bit in there. I usually use that for my ratchet straps or even my shopping bags so I don't forget them at home, but you can throw whatever you want in there. They are fairly deep. This is an insert in there, so this does come out. Oh, I can't do it with the way that I promise you, you can tell there, it does come out. That was my clipboard, sorry about that. But yeah, that insert comes out and then you can use it or take it out if you ever need to clean it. We have our back seat pockets, which you can throw a book, a map, magazine, your iPad, whatever you can throw back there. In our center console here, we do have our USB and our USB-C ports, as well as a 115 volt outlet. So if you need to plug anything in, like your laptop while you're on the road, you can do that here. And then our USB-C ports for charging your phone, of course. Have this little cubby there for throwing things, and then our vents on either side. One thing I like about this is that it has that wood paneling there. Makes it feel extra fancy instead of just the solid black color. There's just a quick look back here. One thing I wanted to point out is that we do have these little lights at the bottom. So when you do lift it up, or even when you don't, it has the light so that way you can kind of see what's down there. We'll fold this back down and you can see that we have our rear power sliding window. So if you need any extra ventilation, you just open that up, and then it creates the airflow. So you open up that window, you open up this window, and you have some good airflow going through there. And then we also have our cup holders that pull down in the middle here. So if you don't need this extra seat, it's nice to have those extra cup holders. I'm definitely someone who needs as many cup holders as I can get. For some reason on road trips, I need a million drinks, so it's nice to have the extra cup holders for when you need them. We do also have the double stitching on the seats, so they won't blow out as easily. They'll hold up well over time. But there's our quick look at the back. Of course, our door pockets, our little cubby there, power windows. We're going into the back and you can have a look back here. So for our truck here, we do already have mud flaps on it. They do have the Ram badging on the front. They do say Dodge. There's just a quick look at those, so you don't have to worry about putting on mud flaps. They have them already. We do also have clearance lamps, class 5 hitch receiver, and then our 4 and 7 pin wiring harness. There's a look at those there. And there's our hitch. So if ever you're gonna pull a trailer, you're gonna want those for sure. We also have our spare tire down there, just in case you get a flat. That's when your jack will come in handy. We have a deployable bed step, which comes out, and the bed step here as well, in case you need to get up in there. Our backup camera and our nice Ram badging. We'll open this up and you can see that we do have the spray-in bed liner on this one. We have our bed lamps, so tucked away in the corners there. We have the lamps to light up the truck bed, so you can see your cargo. Has the fifth wheel prep package, so it's ready for your fifth wheel. You just drop the ball in and you're good to go. Another thing is that it does, I don't know if you can tell, it does have a camera up there so we can see in our truck bed, which I'll show you once we get up to the front. It does also have these little things for tying down your cargo. So, you know, when you have something in the back, you want to strap it down, make sure it's not going to fly out on you. Those little hooks will come in handy at that point. So you just use your ratchet straps, tie it down. Another thing for our cargo management is that it does also have these little indents there. So you can stick technically like a 2x4 or something like that across, and it'll split up your cargo load. Have it, don't mind that. Have it nice and organized for you. And then you can see our rear sensors at the back there. Again, our, what are they called? Mud flaps, our lamps along the sides. We'll go on in over here and you can have a look on this side. So again, our speakers, door pockets, power windows, our little cubby there, back seat pockets for throwing things back there. This is the 40 side of our 4060 split bench. Folds up over here as well. One thing I didn't show is that underneath that little panel, it does lift up and it has our subwoofer on that side. On this side, we actually have some storage, so it looks like they have these little things for your jack there, or your tire iron. But they have that in here, so there's some extra storage space that goes there. And they do have these little clips that can potentially clip it down. This one folds out as well, so you can have that flat space. If you have it all folded up and all of these out, the entire back area here will be flat. So again, if you're bringing home a extra big flat screen TV, that comes in handy. I don't know what else you would use that for, but I'm sure it comes in handy at some point. We do have the in-floor storage bins on this side as well. Maybe I can show you on this side that this does in fact come out. There we go. See, that does come out. So if you ever need to use that just to transport things, or if you need to wash it out, you threw something messy in there like your oil or windshield washer fluid and it's spilt and you need to wipe it out, it comes out easy peasy. Nice and easy cleaning. So we'll close all this up. What else can I show you back here? I don't think that these are, no, just extra fancy. Our doors have these accent panels and this suede insert there, and then the silver accents, just to make it look extra fancy. Since it is a Laramie, it's pretty up there in trim level, so that's why we have those fancy little extras like that. One thing I want to point out is that on our mirrors here, you can see that there's a little camera. That's for our blind spot, and it also aids in the 360 camera system. Okay, now let's look at our door. So on our door, we have our power locks, power windows. This one locks your windows, so if ever your kids are messing with the windows, or someone in the back, you know, accidentally opened up the window while you're on the highway, this will just avoid that problem. You lock them up, no one can open them. This one's for your mirrors, so to adjust your mirrors, you click one, it lights up, and then you can adjust your mirrors with these little arrows there. If you use this one, so you have to have a side selected, left or right, you click this, and then you adjust that second mirror, your tow mirror there. You can see it move around. And then they do also fold in, so you click that, they fold in on that side and that side as well. You'll need to press it once and it'll fold in both sides and fold out after you click it again. This one here is our driver memory setting. So with our power seats, our power pedals, it does have power adjustable pedals, as well as the mirrors, and I believe the radio stations it will remember as well. Once you have it set to where you want it to be, you hold the S, and then you click, it'll give you a little alert on your infotainment center, and then you would click the 1 or 2 for whichever driver memory setting you want to be. So I'm gonna hop up here, and then we can talk a little bit more. Okay, let me just turn down the music because it's going hard. All right, so then we have our adjustments for our headlights. So you can set it to auto and have it kick on whenever you need it to, but if ever you need to switch between them, your fog lights or your headlight setting, you can go ahead and do that. When it's at this one, it will be off, and then you can adjust the brightness and whatnot there. Down here we have our park brake, so yeah, that one's just your park brake there. I don't want to pull it because I don't want to have to disengage it. And then right here is to pop the hood. This one, as I had mentioned, is for your power adjustable pedals. So let me see if I can show that to you. I'm just going to press it, and then you can see those move around there. So that's nice when you do have to pull your seat back or pull it forward, say you have extra long legs or short legs. It's nice to have them come at a different angle, so that way you can feel comfortable while you're stepping on them and reach them well. This one is to adjust the, how do I do this? I can't, I don't know why it won't. There we go. Okay, so that one is for adjusting our steering wheel. So you pull that and then you can adjust the steering wheel as need be. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. I believe this is a leather wrap steering wheel with the cross stitching in the middle there. But we do have our cruise control on this side, so when you engage that, it does show up on your driver information screen, and that just helps you stay at the speed that you set it at, so that we don't have to press the accelerator pedal or anything like that. It kind of just keeps you coasting at the same speed. And we have our gear limits down here, so if you want to gear up or gear down, you can do that right here. This one controls your driver information screen, all these little arrows here. Then we have our voice recognition, which when you hold that down, it engages the voice recognition, so you can tell it to do certain things. You can set the temperature, you can play a certain song, tune to a certain station, but that's what that does there. And when you press it again, you cancel it. This one is for answering or ending your calls, and then I'll just quickly go through the driver information screen with you. So looking up at our little, I believe it's 7-inch digital display on our cluster, you can scroll down, and then we go to our vehicle information. So we have tire pressure, your coolant temp, trans temp, oil pressure, boost pressure, diesel particulate filter, your oil life, fuel filter life, and then your battery voltage, as well as your exhaust brake and your engine. Gauge summary. So you can see all of that in one nice neat spot. And then your engine hours, so you can see how many hours it's spent idling, how many hours it's spent driving, and then the total engine hours. So you can see all of that right there. Scrolling down, we can see our fuel economy, our average fuel economy. It has 2 pages for that. And then we go down again, trip information. So our trip, we're on a trip B, so trip B and trip A. Trailer tow, so we do have the trailer brake in this one, and you can see how far you have set your gain to on that. And then your trailer distance. So this is nice. You can reset it, like if we hold that, we'll reset it. So that's nice for tracking your trailer, like the distance on your trailer, so that way you know when to do certain maintenance. So after so many kilometers, you know, you got to change the brakes on your trailer or whatnot. That just helps you keep track of that, and that's why that's nice to have there. Audio, you can see the radio station playing. If you have your phone connected, it will also show which song is playing up there. Messages, so this one is for your truck code. So like say it says check engine or low tire pressure, it will store that message here, so that way you can view that later on if it pops up while you're driving. That's nice. You don't have to exit out of it and then that message be lost. You'll be able to go back to it. Screen setup, so these screens are customizable. When you go through here, it kind of lights up which area, and then you can adjust. So right here we have our temperature there. I think that's our coolant temp. This one's our battery voltage, your oil, and then your temperature. You can set one to a compass. You can set it to kind of whatever you'd like it to be. So when you go ahead and do that, you can set it for the information that you want to see quickly. All right, now going back, then we have our speedometer. So when we're back at our speedometer, you click the little arrow and you can go to miles per hour. And all you do, if you're stuck on that one, you just click it again and you go to kilometers per hour. So there's a look at our driver information screen. For our gear shifter, that is up here since it is a 1-ton. But for our 4x4, we do have the electronic shift on the fly transfer case. So this one here is how you switch between your 2-wheel drive, your 4-high, and your 4-low. For your 4-low, make sure that you come to a stop before you engage that, and then that you only go up to, I believe, like 10 kilometers per hour or something like that. You got to be going real nice and slow. This is a push start. We haven't really looked at our fob yet, so I'll quickly show that to you. We do have remote start, remote keyless entry. We do have that proximity entry that I mentioned. Then your tailgate release. If ever your fob dies, since it is electronic, we do have the spare key. Let me just quickly. Okay, I can't do it. The spare key does come out, so you press this little button here. Let's see if I can do it one-handed, and then you pull, and there's your spare key in there, and then you just stick it back in. That would be to unlock your door. To start the truck, as you can see, we don't have the key option, so what you do is you hold your fob to the start button if your fob is dead, and it will override. It'll disconnect that way and turn on your truck, so you won't be stranded if your fob dies. That's nice for dependability because you know it's always going to work that way. On our infotainment center, we have our radio stations. So we have Sirius XM, AM, FM radio. Of course, you can connect through your Bluetooth. You can connect your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto. And then, one thing I want to mention. Up top here is where our presets are. So when, say this one's one of my favorites, I go and hold there, and then that's set to one of my favorites. So I just quickly click that, and then it goes to that radio station. Then down here, of course, we go through our tuning and whatnot. I never really clicked this one. You haven't set your traffic and weather now channel. Also, you can see the traffic and the weather. Media. This is where you would connect your different media. So we do have a CD player on this one. So not only do we have the Sirius XM radio, the Bluetooth, all of those options, we do also have a CD player as well, which is just located down here in this little cubby there. So that's where you would put your CDs, the eject button, and then of course once you put your CD in, you can see the options there and scroll through the songs on there. Climate, we have heated and vented seats. So the little fan option is the vented seat. So what that does is it blows cold air through the seat. That way you know how hot leather gets in the summer. That just helps avoid you burning yourself on the seat or getting stuck. That's just really handy to have when you have leather seats. The heated seats, of course, we know is good in wintertime, as well as the heated steering wheel. Those are handy dandy. I can't live without mine anymore now that I have it. I need it. But that's where you access those. We do also have the buttons themselves down here, so when you click that, turns on, it gives you the 3 options there. It does show up on your driver or your infotainment center as well. Same with the vented seats and your heated steering wheel. So all of those we have the buttons for, but you can also access through the screen, as well as the temperature, same thing, like we can adjust it up here. We do also have these manual adjustments down here, and I'm gonna put that nice and low because it is kind of hot in here right now. This one's your fan settings, so we have it set to 5. We can go all the way up to 7, or we can go all the way down to 1. For our apps, there are quite a few things that I want to go through here. So of course it has our climate control things there, but we do, so when I click the backup cam, it only brings up our backup camera with our active guidelines. So when I turn the steering wheel, you can see that the active guidelines move with it, as well as that middle dotted line, that's for lining up your hitch. Then we have our bed cam, so you can see the cargo there. That's also helpful for lining up your 5th wheel if you're attaching that. And then our blind spots, so you can see the left and the right, and then you can adjust them to see how far you see each one. But for some reason, when you click that one, it doesn't bring up the surround view camera, which it does have. So you click that, you can see the 360. That is super, super handy, I find, when you are parking in those small parking spaces in the city. So I'm from a tiny town. Whenever I go to the city, it's super hard to park a big truck. And so this is really helpful for making sure that you're staying within those lines. And it has the different options here. Like you can see the wider view of the backup camera, the front view camera. This one's the shorter view of the front view camera, and it has the 360 on the side here. And then our cargo cam again. Alrighty, now let's go back here. Phone, so that's where you connect your Bluetooth. That kind of is already self-explanatory. And then your settings, so if ever you want to adjust your settings, like for your safety and driving assistance, you can adjust the volume for the parking sensors, tilt side mirrors in reverse, blind spot alert, so it does have the blind spot monitoring as I mentioned, so it can see up to 10 feet behind and 1 lane over. If anyone is in your blind spot, it lights up that little orange, let me see if I can, right there. So it lights up that little orange triangle, and it also gives you alert. Right now it will only light up the little triangle, but you can also set it to alert you as well. The rain sensing windshield wipers, so when your wipers are on, they do have to be on to engage that, but it has a little sensor behind your rear view mirror there. And then when your wipers are on, then it will automatically sense the rain and then wipe it away as needed, instead of you having to switch between the settings. You know, when the rain's being tricky and it goes from light rain to heavy rain, that kind of just helps you not have to fiddle with it. Hill start assist, cargo camera dynamic center line, so you can turn off that center line if you don't like it. But yeah, this is where you adjust all of your settings for all of the stuff in the truck. A lot of it's customizable, which is really nice about the Rams, and so if you don't quite like something, you can check in there and see if you can adjust it. Hazards, traction control, screen off, you can mute it, and then when you click it, then it turns the volume back on where it was at. Your air circulation, this is to turn off your climate control, I believe. And then you turn it back on. Front and rear window defrosters, so the side mirrors are heated. When you turn on your rear window defroster, that turns on your heated mirror function as well. Fan settings, and then below that we have our exhaust brake, tow haul mode, rear parking sensors and front parking sensors. So when you select these, that turns them off. It does show up on your driver information screen as well, just to show that that is turned off, so that way you kind of have more of a heads up in case you accidentally bumped it. Your trailer brake, USB and USB-C ports, auxiliary port, of course our CD player, we went over that. This right here is a little spot to set your phone down, so your phone sits like this, so the cord can come out the bottom and you can plug it in without having to mess up your cord. It has a spot for 2 phones, and then below that we do have our outlet, our 115 volt outlet. Lots of space down here. This liner is removable, so if you need to clean it, you can pull that out. It is very spacious, so it goes all the way under here, and then you pull this out. We have our key sitting in there, which I'll move. We have our cup holders, our little space for throwing things down, and then our change counters or change compartments. This liner comes out as well, so if you need to clean that, there you go. We'll open this up here. This is felt lined. We have our USB port. This won't connect to your Uconnect system, but it will charge your phone. Lots of space for throwing things down there. And then we have this little metric system. Below that we have more storage space, so this is fairly deep. It does connect to the storage space on the other side, and it has this little divider that just pops up there, so that helps divide them. And then this liner is all one piece, so when you lift up this liner, it actually lifts up this exact same liner. You have to pull it all out in one piece. Believe me, I've tried it. It's a little bit of a hassle, like this little thing comes off, but it's not too bad. You can pop that back in. Looking upwards, we have our interior lights, so this turns them all on. This one turns them off, so that way even when you open up the doors, they won't turn on, which is nice for when you're taking kiddos who fell asleep out of the truck, and you know, they always wake up when the lights come on, so that just kind of helps avoid that, or if the lights bother you. Your tailgate release, this one controls your rear power sliding window, so when you use that, that opens and closes that. We have our sunglasses compartment. Throw your sunglasses up there, and then our universal garage door opener, so this will connect to your garage door. It's a pretty simple process to set up, and it's just so that way you don't have another remote kicking around that you might lose. It just helps avoid that. Here we have our vanity with our lights, our sun visor. On this side, same thing. And I think that might be basically it. Let me just double check to see if there's anything that I missed. Trailer reverse guidance, no, I kind of went over that. Mirror mounted auxiliary reverse lamps. No, I think we're good. All right, I'll hop out. I'll find one final look at the inside. Really fancy, these Laramies. I quite like the trim. And then one final look at the outside. So it's a pretty good deal. If you have any questions or you want to come down and test drive it, feel free to give us a call here at Big Lakes Dodge. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous truck, decked right out with everything you need. So even if you want to stop by and have a coffee, come look at it, give us a call. And I'll see you in the next one.